Hey everyone, how are you doing? This beginning of 2022 for me has been a bit chaotic. January and February have been this crazy amount of plans piling up on top of one another, and it's great because it feels like COVID might be ending and things are kind of going back to normal. I don't want to say that too loud. That means that I haven't had a single moment where I sit down and think about the things that I've liked, the things that I haven't enjoyed, and just think in general. So now that we are in March and we are heading towards spring, I wanted to take things a bit slower and just going back to basics and be a bit more mindful about the things that I read, the things that I listen to, or even the things that I watch. So today I'm gonna take that moment to reflect on these last 2 months, January and February, and talk about the things that I've loved from these past 2 months, so a sort of winter favorites. So in no particular order, let's start with things related to design and my career and skill set. I've always been really interested in 3D. I think it's because I've worked with 3D artists in the past and I really admire the work that they do, but I can also see how complex it is and how many aspects of 3D you can be specialized in. So it's always been a bit overwhelming, the amount of resources and software that you can use to create 3D pieces or 3D illustrations. However, recently I found Polygon Runway, which is the work by Roman Culture. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or completely butchering it. In his YouTube channel and in his website, he has these amazing courses specifically aimed for 3D illustrations. These are low poly, which means that they don't require complex modeling and you can do really cool illustrations just with basic materials and really nice lighting. So I've been doing his beginner course called Become a 3D Illustrator, which I can really recommend. It starts very basic and then just gets a bit more difficult, but it's very easy to follow and he explains it really well. So apart from that, and because I'm really interested in taking these 3D projects into a more interactive medium, I've been playing around with Spline Design, which is this web app that allows you to take your 3D compositions into the web and make it interactive. And I have also been going back to the threejs journey course by Bruno Simon, which is a course where he teaches you threejs from the very beginning. I know that this is a work in progress and I'm taking it very slowly, mostly because I know myself and I know that I get very motivated at the beginning and then I just lose interest and forget about things and stop doing the courses or following the lessons. So I'm trying to take it a bit slower and just go one day at a time. And maybe these courses take me months to finish, but that is absolutely fine because first, I'm not in a rush to finish a project or to learn this skill for work. And second, because I know that I will enjoy it more at the end when I see myself accomplishing something that has taken me a good effort. Moving on to books. This year I've read 6 books so far. I'm on book number 7 and all the books that I've read are great, but there are 2 in particular that I've really enjoyed. The first one is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. So this book is from 2020 and it explains a fictional story of Shakespeare's son, Hamnet, who died at the age of 11, and how the whole family kind of revolved around that death. This is about Shakespeare family, but Shakespeare is never named. You just assume that it's him, and it's a beautiful story. I think I really liked it because it focuses a lot on the character of the mother, and she's this very complex character that mixes elements of magic and nature. The story is beautiful and I kind of cried a little bit at the ending. I can really recommend this book if you like especially historical fiction. And the second book that I really like is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This kind of blew my mind. I wasn't expecting anything just because when you look about this book, you can't find anything. Everything that you can find is that Piranesi is a character who lives in this massive house filled with hallways and corridors and thousands of statues, and he's just there by himself. There are these tides that come and go, and there's this other person who he calls the other, and he's the only other person apart from Piranesi who lives in these halls. And that's all you know about it, all you can read about it. It's a very short book actually, so you read it really quickly. But as I was reading it, I was kind of making the story as I went. So I was picturing, oh, what is he doing here? What's going to happen? What's outside this house? At the end, when the truth is revealed, you're just shocked. And it just, you just have to read it to understand what I'm talking about. And then the third book that I just finished reading is Luster by Leilani. So this book tells a story of a black woman who starts an affair with a white married man, and it just explains the relationship of this woman with this family and this man and his wife and his daughter who's actually black, and how the different relationships kind of develop throughout the book. I really liked how it was written and what it explained. It is a book that revolves a lot around this main character, and I couldn't connect with her. And because I couldn't connect with her, it made it a bit difficult to sympathize with her problems and with what she went through. The book is beautiful and it's really, really well written. It's just that I couldn't connect with her. Next, we're moving on to shows and movies. I haven't been watching a lot of TV lately, but there are two things that I can recommend. First of all is The Power of the Dog. It's by Jane Campion. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Kirsten Dunst, and it is a beautiful film. The story is so simple. Two men that live on their own. They are brothers, and one of the brothers marries a woman who has a child. It's just a movie about the relationship between these characters, and it has a twist at the end, but it's just so beautiful. That's it. That's all I can say. And the second thing that I've been binge watching has been Attack on Titan, which is this Japanese anime that's just crazy. It's about this society that lives within three walls. From time to time, these massive titans that are huge humanoids come and eat them. Yeah, and that's it. They attack the humans. The story develops around why these titans attack on people, why are there special titans, what's happening with these characters that are trying to protect the walls and that live within the walls, and what's going on outside the walls. So things get crazy. But it's been really good because I recently started studying Japanese, and obviously I can't understand anything of what they say, but it is a good way to get the language within my head. And the show is really cool. The episodes are so short, they're like 20 minutes each, and yeah, it's just a crazy show, but really good. Moving on to music, I'm still stuck with Encanto Soundtrack. Not much to tell you about it. And actually the other thing that I've been listening a lot, and this might be cheating because it came out in March, but it is the new Stromae album. He released a couple of songs before releasing the whole album at the beginning of March. It's one of my favorite singers, and he stopped doing music 9 years ago, and I thought he was actually retiring. So the fact that he's released a new album, he's doing a tour. I'm actually going next year to Brussels to watch him live. I don't know, I'm really happy about it. These couple of months, I've also been following a few people that I'm inspired by. The first one is Fran Meneses. I want to be pronouncing that right. She is an illustrator based in Brooklyn, and I started watching her channel with the video when she came out. I don't know, it felt so personal, and I've kind of been watching a lot of her videos because she's had this YouTube channel for years. Where she blogs and talks about illustration and being a freelance. It's a really nice channel. She is very close and she just feels like a very nice person you would be friends with. The second person is Johnny Harris. The job that he has been doing lately, especially talking about the Ukraine-Russia conflict, has been great. I've been trying not to be too overwhelmed by information about this whole subject. I'm trying to filter really well what I watch and what I listen to. And Johnny is one of the people that I really look up for because the way he explained things, not only from a visual point of view, but from a well-researched documentation, it's just been essential for me just to understand why things are happening and what has happened, basically. I've also been watching quite a lot of TikTok recently, and one of the accounts that I enjoy the most is Sidney. And also it's related to me turning 30 at the beginning of February, because in each video he explains something he didn't know before he turned 30. One of his latest videos is his wife. She didn't know that Pokemon means pocket monsters, which I actually didn't know. So it's that kind of small thing, but I don't know, it makes me laugh. And then on personal favorites, things that I've done these last 2 months that I'm really happy about. The first one is that I went to Munich. My husband took me there for my birthday, which was really nice because since I started learning German, I hadn't been to Germany and I hadn't been able to actually practice what I knew. It was a bit frustrating because I was able to speak and say coherent things in German, but I couldn't understand a word. And apparently it's because in Bayern there's this different accent, which would have been nice to know before going there. But in any case, it was a really nice trip. It snowed a lot, which I actually like because I live in Barcelona where it doesn't snow, and it was a really nice weekend. And also one thing that I really liked about these last 2 months is that I bought a bike. Well, I didn't buy it. My family got it for me for my birthday as well. I had a bike before. It was this very heavy mountain bike, very uncomfortable. Yeah, I needed something a bit lighter and a city bike. So yeah, I got this really nice, I think it's like Hollandaise kind of style bike. I don't know, but yeah, it's really nice. I've been biking it lately and it's just lovely. I don't know, I love biking. So yeah, this has been a recap of my favorites from January, February, and a bit of March, just like a winter's favorite. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm trying to take things a bit slower this March, so I've been trying to meet up with friends in a more one-to-one scenarios. There are things that I need to talk to people because there are certain topics that I never speak about, and I kind of need to talk about them with my closest friends and people that surround me just to feel more comfortable with myself. I'm also going to try to cook new recipes and try new food here at home. I really like cooking, so yeah, I just need good recipes and new things to try. And the last thing is also that I want to write more. I'm trying to write a bit every day without much pressure, even if it's just one sentence that will do it, but it's a good way to just stop, think a bit, write it down, and just move on with my day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or any suggestions, just let me know below in the comments. Obviously, if you like what I do, you can subscribe. And if not, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.